And then the women that we work with. I mean, it's very easy to focus on the bad, you know, the homelessness and the statistics where we're at the top of the worst. But we also have beautiful families. I have housing on site. And I have one family who she has been reunified with her 7 children. And I am right below them. My office is right below her with her children. And I get to hear them. And I don't hear screaming. And I don't hear anything bad. I just see I hear a happy family. Yes, there's mom, because she's a teenage daughter. You know, bless her heart. We all know. I mean, but still, the struggles she faces on a daily basis, but yet she's still there for her children, and she perseveres, is just astounding to me. And so every day I get to help that, and I can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing, the connection that you're seeing between resource extraction sites, one towns, we can talk about Fort Brenhall, or the 3 affiliated tribes. You know, what are you seeing?
Well, trafficking has been a reality for Native women since first contact. You know, that this is not a new problem. It's a problem that we have dealt with from the very beginning. You know, you can look at Columbus's writings, and he speaks of how beautiful the people were, and how easily it would be to subjugate us, as well as how 7- and 8-year-old girls were in high demand in Europe. So the history of trafficking is so enmeshed in our whole experience with European conquest that it's surprising to me still today that there are so many people who don't know that, because we've been hidden and no one has seen our struggles. But our current population, we work with both young girls and women who have either been trafficked or experience risk factors every single day, because, you know, poverty is a strong thing in our community. And we can, you know, spend hours talking about the historical purpose or how we got to where we are. But, you know, every day our families are struggling with homelessness. And I often tell people, I'm a mother. I have 2 beautiful children. I would die for them. I would do anything for my children. And the reality of many of my clients that we work with is they do anything for their children. And that is often having to sell themselves, or to ensure that they have food, that they have diapers, that they can stay in the rental agreement that they have and not be faced kicking out. And along with that is the extraction. They're so intertwined, because if people are going to have so little respect for water and for earth and for life itself, it shouldn't surprise anyone that they have no respect for women either. And women and young children, boys, girls, you know, I don't want to leave out the LGBTQ community as well, because they are often hidden victims in all this as well. They are going out to the man camps, and they are working the long weekend. And oftentimes, you say it's, you know, well, they're doing it because they want to. No, it's because they have no other choice, or because they're being forced by traffickers who are taking them out there and working them. And so these events are so powerful because many people haven't noticed that connection, but it's definitely there. And we work with those women and children every day that are at risk or who have gone out there. I mean, I grew up in North Dakota. It breaks my heart and my soul to see what's happening to the land, and then to look at Bismarck and see, you know, that they've had to add airline flights, a lot of it for strippers and prostitutes and people coming in to work man camps. You know, that is just disastrous for all women there completely. And yeah, that's kind of a downer, Debbie Downer.
And these women are being trafficked between Thunder Bay and Duluth, and a lot of those are Aboriginal women. And they have no power. And then if they get into Duluth, they could be sent on the boat anywhere. And that's going on right here in Minnesota. And it is increasing, and Native women are particularly at prey. There's a huge number that are coming off of our reservations in the north. And the more that our women are displaced and marginalized and are invisible in these cities, invisible, then they're very easy prey. These women are homeless. A lot of our community is in very tough shape. You know, on the reservation or down here. It's the same way we're like in the margins in a lot of our situation. And so that is why we end up with the much higher rates in trafficking. And then these women, you know, and then these women end up elsewhere. And I think that, you know, I have some friends that come from North Dakota. I have friends in North Dakota. I just want you to know that. I really like North Dakota. I just like to keep it nice, you know. But so all I'm saying is, it's like, I was kind of watching that, and like nobody wants to talk about it in North Dakota. They're really, really conservative, like the legislature, you know, and a lot of really conservative people. But, you know, and then, you know, just really exploding the bedrock of Mother Earth out there, and toxins, you know. But nobody wants to talk about, you know, how many women are getting trafficked into the bakken. And they're coming out of here. A lot of them are coming out of right here. And I feel like that if we want to talk about what's going on, we have to understand the intersection between those issues. And you cannot act all like it's okay to frack oil. And it's, you know, and you cannot talk like, you know, a lot of these conservative legislators, they'll really lecture you about, you know, you and your body and what they should, you know, what you can do with your body, you know. But at the same time, they will not protect those women. And that is not tolerable. You know, that's not okay. We may be brown women, but we are women. And they're not just brown women that are being trafficked. You know, you go to the Minneapolis airport, I fly a lot, you see some of those women going into those flights to Williston. Like, who the heck goes to Williston, right? You know, nothing said bad about North Dakota. But you see one really diminutive woman of color, small woman of color going into Williston, you know, that's probably not a good thing. You see them on the trains and you see them on the buses. You know, you see them and they are not invisible. But what happens is because Native people have been, you know, so much the object of war historically, and then so marginalized. I mean, women were booty for the soldiers at Fort Snelling. That's the reality of this city. You know, and so we cannot pretend that did not happen. And historically, women have been that. There's a lot of conquest, you know, that is involved with that. But, you know, it has been something that has been over time, that it has been something that has been okay somehow. And it is an epidemic in our communities. It is an epidemic. I was visiting with a woman earlier today, and she's, you know, I visit with these women, and they're talking about how, you know, there's thousands of missing and murdered Aboriginal women. You know, and that you know, Mr. Harper, Premier Harper, he can find one big boat up there in the subarctic. Remember that boat he found? He was like all proud he found some boat that was like buried. I see, but he can't find 1,000 women. You know what I'm saying? And when you look out here and there's missing women, you know, or some tragedy that happens to a woman, you know, they will turn over North Dakota to look for a woman who is blonde. We are all here together. And the statistics, they are underreported, but they are egregious. They are egregious. But yet they are barely covered, you know? If, you know, I think I've technically outlived my life expectancy. Let's just be honest. You know, Native women is not having our violent crime rates, are, you know, we're 3 times more likely to be murdered. I mean, it is like crazy stuff, yeah? So, you know, tonight we're talking about that, but I want to make sure you got exactly what we're talking about. And we understand that, you know? And I'm saying, like, there are a lot of Native women here, and you have to see our faces, but we are all together, we are all beautiful people, whatever color we are. And that return of that respect and protecting each other is part of our great opportunity and responsibility in this generation.